Hello, everyone, and welcome to my live tarot reading event, Tea and Tarot with Kate. I actually have coffee today, not tea. I already had my tea in the morning, and now I'm progressing onto coffee. I like to ease into my caffeine consumption over the course of the day. So welcome, everyone. I'm so excited to hang out with you and pull some cards. I'm just noticing there's really nice comments in the comments section. So thank you everyone for your lovely positive comments. And a couple of you said that I've helped you learn tarot, and that's such an honor. And I'm so glad that you found my videos helpful. Hello, Meredith, Judy, Ice Chan, Rose Rim. Hello, Black Widow's bitch, Black Widow's witch. Hello, welcome. I like your username. Welcome, Tammy. Hello. I'm so glad that you're all here. And Greg. Hello, Greg. All right. So I recognize a lot of names here. So that's awesome. Greg, you're in Reno. Okay. So I am excited because I have a brand new deck that I've never used. I've used it on myself a couple of times, but this is very new, and it's the Bonestone and Earthflesh Tarot. Now, I believe this deck was first published a while ago. So it's not a brand new deck, but this is a new edition of it. And this is a deck by Avalon Cameron, and the artwork is by Tourian. I think I'm saying that right. So great deck. I love this deck, and I'm very excited to kind of break it in with you today. I also have another deck. Sometimes I like to kind of go back and forth between decks, and it's the This Might Hurt Tarot. So I might bring this deck out at some point as well. I just want to ask you if you can hear a weird noise in the background. I have my little electric fireplace in the background, and it's making like a loud kind of whirring noise. I can hear it, but I don't know if my mic is picking it up. So let me know if you can hear it, and let me know if it's distracting, and I'll turn it off. Okay, good. No one really hears it. It's not that cold, but I'm down in my basement, and it's a little bit chilly in this room. Okay, so I'm going to shuffle my deck here, shuffle my cards. And if anybody has a question that they want me to answer with my tarot cards, or if you just want me to randomly pull a card, please let me know. And my intention with these readings is really just for fun. So it's just to kind of see, what like I love asking my deck questions and just seeing how my deck feels about things. So over the years, I used to ask like really specific questions when I did readings for myself. And now what I do is I'll pose the question that I have, and then I'll say to my cards, what do you think about this? What are your feelings on this? So I start with a specific question, and then I kind of broaden it a little bit. And I find that I get really good answers that way. So I'm going to start by just drawing a card for all of us. So just doing kind of a general reading. So this reading is for anyone who is watching, whether you're here live or you're watching the replay. I'm intending this reading will resonate with you in some way. So I'm going to ask my deck, what is going to be most helpful for us right now in this moment in time? What is going to be most helpful for us? Page of Swords. Okay, and so this is young Merlin the Apprentice. Page of Swords. And I'm just going to give my camera a second to focus on it. I love how colorful this card is. It's a very busy card. There's a lot going on. It's very convoluted. And this is what is going to be most helpful for us. Now, I think of the Page of Swords, and I love how he's depicted here. Like he's learning, and he's like he realizes he has power and he has magic, but he hasn't quite totally learned how to control it. He doesn't have full command of it yet. And so it can be a little bit overwhelming. And so when the Page of Swords comes up, it's often because we're trying to get a handle on something. I like to say we're trying to get a sense of firm footing on ground that keeps shifting. And it's like we're trying to get control over something that is constantly moving and constantly evolving. But in this specific instance, with this particular deck and this particular card, it's about learning to have command over your own power. And because this is the Page of Swords, and I think of the Suit of Swords is all about the mind. It's all about your mental aspect and your thoughts, the things that you're focusing your mind on. The message of the Page of Swords for us is to, I don't want to say get a handle on your mind, but that's kind of what I'm saying, is like getting control, not necessarily control, but because sometimes you can't control your thoughts. Your thoughts just pop up and they happen. But getting a sense of command over your own mind in terms of focus. So you do have control over what you're going to focus your attention on, what you're going to give your mental energy to. You can't always control the thoughts that pop into your mind. You can't always control your mental state, but you can have control over what you focus your attention on. And so with the Page of Swords, it's saying, recognize the power of your focused intention and know that there's a lot of power just in deciding what you're going to focus your mind on. And so that is what is going to be most helpful for us right now in this moment, is to recognize the power of our own mind and the power of our focus and attention, and really like seeing young Merlin kind of figuring stuff out and learning how to have control over his magic. That's a big part of magic, right? Like think about Harry Potter and stuff like that. Like that's a big part of it, is learning how to control it and learning how to focus. So focus, especially mental focus, focusing your mind, is what's going to be most helpful for us right now. And let me know in the comments, like, what does that mean to you? So for me, like, being more intentional in where I put my mental focus might mean, not looking at the news or social media for 2 hours before bed. Instead, like read a fun book or do some like drawing or something that's less stressful. That's one way that I would kind of take that advice to heart. Okay, so I'm gonna scroll up and just read some comments here. Conquista Doom, you said, I've been focusing on stillness and silence. That's nice. Yeah, that's a nice way to calm your mind, clear your mind. And Maza Lou, you said that resonates. We scatter energy too much. Yes. And that's what the Page of Swords, it's like he is kind of scattered. He's mentally scattered. He's all over the place. And so what he's learning to do is to become less scattered and more focused. Okay. So I'm just going to randomly choose questions and people to read for here. And I'm going to try to do as many one-card readings as I can. All right. Tammy, I think you were the first one who requested. So Tammy, you said, I would love a card for guidance to help me. Okay. All right, Tammy. So let's give these cards a shuffle. Okay, Tammy, what card do you need to see right now for guidance? The Hermit. And because this is a new deck and there's characters on all the cards, so this is Agaifa. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. And I'm assuming that that is linked to some sort of character in a myth or legend, but I'm not familiar with it. So I won't pretend to know what this character is about. But the Hermit, and I'm just waiting for there we go. The Hermit is a beautiful card, and I love that you've gotten this card, Tammy. So the Hermit is a card of solitude, and it's all about prioritizing the relationship that you have with yourself and the relationship you have to like your spiritual side, to the spiritual side of life. And I'm noticing a couple things here. So I'm noticing the spread wings. That is the biggest symbol that I'm noticing. So the wings above her head. That's the first thing I'm noticing. And to me, there is a sense here of like spreading your wings. Like it's a sense of freedom, but it's also about expansion. And I think that you're at a place in your life where you're ready for the next step in expanding spiritually. So you're sort of on the cusp of a phase of spiritual expansion. And you might notice yourself maybe being drawn to certain spiritual things, or maybe even just craving a little bit more alone time. So you might already naturally kind of notice yourself being drawn to more kind of hermit-like activities or more kind of spiritual type activities. And this is your intuition, your higher self kind of guiding you towards what you're needing right now. So the Hermit is saying, make time for yourself. So this is alone time, so solitude time where you can maybe contemplate or just kind of drop down into yourself. So whatever that, it looks like for you, maybe that could be taking time in your day to just go for a solo walk. It could be taking time to meditate, to do some journaling, give yourself a tarot reading, commune with your guides or your higher self, whatever that looks like to you. And you said guidance to help me. And so if you're in a conundrum about something or you feel like you're in need of guidance, the Hermit is kind of saying that guidance is within you and it's more accessible if you can sort of carve out a little bit of alone time to get quiet and move inward. So kind of a cop out in a way. I'm saying the answers are within you, but that's what the Hermit is all about. So thank you so much, Tammy, for letting me pull a card for you. And I'm actually just going to scroll right down to the bottom. I'm just going to kind of haphazardly choose different people to read for. Okay. Kathleen, what should I be aware of at this moment in my life right now? Okay. Eight of Swords. Okay. This is actually a very beautiful Eight of Swords. It's not your typical Eight of Swords. Okay, so what should you be aware of at this moment in your life right now? And we have the Eight of Swords. But like I said, it's not your typical Eight of Swords, which is usually kind of a stressful scene. This is more relaxing for some reason. There's more peacefulness here. So my attention is drawn to a couple of things. It's drawn to the mountain in the background. And to me, the mountain in the background symbolizes some kind of a challenge, some kind of mountain that you're in the process of climbing, some kind of challenge. And then all the trees that are in bloom, they're in blossom. And that to me makes me think like now is the right time for something. Something is coming into bloom in your life. something is coming, it's that idea of right timing. Like now is the time to take up a challenge. So Eight of Swords is a challenge card, and it's about shifting away from maybe how you used to see yourself and developing a new way of looking at yourself and understanding yourself. And that is what's going to allow you to reach that peak, and any kind of challenges that you have in your life, any quests, any big things that you're trying to do or create, is suddenly going to become possible once you make that shift. So when the Eight of Swords comes up, it's often because the way you see yourself is not how things actually are. And another way of putting that is that you're more capable, you're stronger, you're more powerful than you realize. So it's about kind of shifting away from seeing yourself as powerless or maybe a victim, and shifting into seeing yourself in a much more powerful way, and more empowering way. So that, I think, is what you need to know. That's what you need to understand. There's some challenge that you're working on. Now is the right time to start making some shifts. And this is all about how you perceive yourself. And when you shift how you perceive yourself, other possibilities and doorways open for you once you make that shift. So something that might have felt insurmountable and totally impossible will shift and suddenly become possible once you change how you see yourself. And I'm going to take this advice too, because I feel like sometimes when I'm doing readings for people and I'm blabbing away, I'm like, this actually might be for me as well as the reader, because this is something that kind of resonates with me. So I maybe should be taking this advice as well. Okay, so thank you, Kathleen, for letting me pull a card for you. Okay, Lilac's Adore. Oh, I picked the wrong one. Okay, Lilac's Adore, I'll do you next. Mrs. Red Mist, what do I need to focus my energy right now, please? Okay. Oh, Eight of Swords. Okay, maybe I didn't shuffle the deck very good, but I feel like this is the card you're meant to get, so I'm going to put it aside, but I'm going to draw another card just in case. Okay, so you got Eight of Swords and the Lady of Flowers, Nine of Pentacles. So Nine of Pence. So these are two very, very different cards. So with the Eight of Swords, and your question was, what do I need to focus my energy right now? So what do I need to, I'm guessing you're saying, what do I need to focus on? What should I be focusing my energy on? And so Eight of Swords, I'm not going to reread this card. So what I said prior still applies here. So I think one thing to focus your energy on is your self-perception and expanding your idea of what you think you're capable of and what is possible for you in your life right now. So that's the first message. Then the second card is Nine of Pentacles. What should you focus your energy on? And my question for you is, have you been drawn to any kind of performance, like style of performance, like performing dance or artwork or acting, singing, stand-up comedy, public speaking, teaching? Does that resonate with you? Is that something you've been drawn to, getting up in front of an audience? Traditionally, that's not what the Nine of Pentacles is about, but the way that it's depicted on this card, it shows a woman who is, looks like she's a ballerina. She's dancing for an audience. So I'm just curious if that resonates or not. Now, the Nine of Pentacles is all about being at ease, and it is a card of, in some ways, confidence. You know, the woman on this card is dancing in front of an audience, and she looks absolutely comfortable and at ease and graceful. Eight of Swords is the opposite. It's about not feeling at ease with things, feeling kind of stuck. So it's this transition from being stuck to like dancing freely. Okay, so to answer your question, what do I need to focus my energy on right now? This one was expanding your idea of yourself and what you believe is possible, what you believe you're capable of. Nine of Pentacles is about feeling at ease in whatever it is that you're doing. And one way you can do this is by getting into your body, like really grounding into your body. This is a card from the Suit of Pentacles, and the Suit of Pentacles is this physical suit that's all about, you know, getting into your body, connecting with the earth, connecting with the physical side of things. So grounding into your body. And I especially think that sensuality and pleasure is one way that we can do this. And the rose on this card is a symbol of that. The rose is that symbol of sensuality. And stopping to smell the roses, you know, noticing what your five senses are picking up, finding pleasure in like simple daily activities and really feeling things in your body, like really taking the time to feel things in your body. I think that's something to put your energy on right now. Okay, so I hope that made sense. Hope that resonated. Oh, and you said, I've been thinking about getting into painting more. My confidence in myself is quite low at the moment. Okay, so then that first card, see, I doubted myself. I'm like, this can't be the card she's meant to see because that was the last card I picked. But that makes sense. If you said you're struggling with confidence, then that makes sense. Okay, and good luck with your painting. Painting is so much fun. Painting is a lot of fun. There's something calming about working on a painting. There's something, I don't know, it just feeds my soul. When I sit and paint for a while, there's something about it that's just, it either helps calm my mind or it can energize me as well. But I love painting. And not to give you advice on painting, but something that's helped me, because I always want to make time for painting, and sometimes I don't do it and I'll go long periods without painting. The thing that helps me do it is taking away all the pressure and the stress to produce something good and to just paint for my own pleasure and just paint as like a meditative practice, and to not try to necessarily create something that's going to be impressive or that others might find good. And I find that has taken all the stress out of it for me, and it's made it so much more fun. So that's my unsolicited advice on painting. Okay, so I said I was going to read for someone, and then who was it? Let's see. Let me just scroll up. Lilac's the door. That's who I said I was going to read for. Okay, could I have some feedback on my current path? Yes. Okay. Ooh, King of Wands. And this is the sun god Ra. This is a really powerful card. So King of Wands, this is the ultimate confident card. The King of Wands is one of the most confident characters in the tarot deck. So, and you said, I want some feedback on my current path. Okay, so let me just say a few things about King of Wands. King of Wands is very, very good at directing his energy into things and making things happen. But the reason that he's good at this is he only chooses to direct his energy into things that he is passionate about. So things that have meaning. He is not going to take a job just doing whatever because he needs a paycheck. He will only put his energy into something that has a lot of meaning and that really resonates with him, something that he is truly passionate about. Because when he chooses to put his energy into those things that he's passionate about, it's almost like the well never runs dry. Like there's always more energy, more ideas, more creativity because he's passionate about the thing that he's doing. So that's the first thing that I get. This is also about being confident and going after what you want and what's important to you with a certain sense of determination, but never forgetting to maintain a connection to your inner fire. So the things that you're passionate about, the things that light you up, basically your why. Like, why are you doing the thing that you're doing? So when you ask me, can I have some feedback on my current path? Ask yourself, why have I chosen this path? What is my why? Like, what's the reason behind why I have chosen this particular path? Because sometimes we forget, right? We start going down a path and we start wandering and meandering and getting distracted, and we forget what our original purpose was. So I feel like this is like, stay connected to your original intent and your original purpose. Yeah. I hope that helps. Hope that made sense. Okay. Meredith, I'd love you to pull a card for me. What do I need to resolve to move forward happily? I'm going to give my cards a big shuffle, a really good shuffle for this one. I wish you guys could see me shuffling. I'll have to get a different webcam that gives a bigger view, because I feel like watching a tarot reader shuffle is kind of a magical experience. It's part of it. Okay, Meredith, so I'm going to pull a card for you. What do you need to resolve to move forward happily? Page of Cups, Kuan Yin. Okay. So I love that her dress is like made of water. I think that's so pretty. There's definitely an emotional basis to this card. And there's something about acknowledging and recognizing what's going on for you emotionally. Your emotional kind of watery realms, which can be tricky to understand and tricky to pinpoint sometimes. And especially if you're in that mode of like, okay, I need to resolve something and then I need to move forward. I need to fix this issue. Sometimes when you're in that mode and you're in that mindset, dropping down into the emotions and dealing with the watery, unpredictable emotions can be daunting. There's something about that. There's a shift that needs to happen. And so what I understand, like as I look at this card, this is about accepting your feelings as they are. So whatever this question is about, whatever's going on for you, the Page of Cups is saying the first step is acknowledging your own emotions and feelings around this, and just acknowledging it without judgment, without trying to change it, which is really hard to do, I think. But think of it as being like, this is just one simple step I need to make. I just need to acknowledge what I'm feeling and allow yourself to feel what you're feeling. And it's almost like once you do that, then the next step will be revealed. You'll have some kind of little epiphany or an idea will pop into your head, but it's like, that's the thing that's stopping you from moving forward happily, is acknowledging and accepting some sort of emotion or feeling that you're having at the moment. And I'm just looking to see if there's anything else there that I want to say. I'm really drawn to the lily pads and the flowers. There's something beautiful about that. I feel like whatever's going on for you, this situation is going to, right itself. It's, things are going to unfold in a way for you. There's a beauty with these lily pads, and yeah, so I have a good feeling for you, Meredith. I have a good feeling as I look at this card, but there is a gentleness with this card. It's about being gentle with yourself and really allowing yourself to feel your feelings and accept your feelings as they are without trying to change them. So I hope that is helpful. I hope that's helpful for you. Oh, okay. I like this one. Joanna, I'm moving out by myself. What's some advice that could help me right now? Okay, well, first of all, congratulations. You're moving out into the world on your own, moving out by yourself. So I'm gonna pull a card and see what advice the tarot has for you. And I have to say, I'm liking this deck. For those of you who maybe joined a little bit later, the deck that I'm using is called the Bonestone and Earthflesh Tarot. And this is a deck by Avalon Cameron and Anna Tourian. Okay. Page of Cups. Okay, it's so weird how this happens. Now, I actually shuffled the deck really, really, really well. So, Page of Cups, I find that this happens a lot when I do these lives, is I'll keep drawing the same cards, but I think that it's interesting because you'll get to see me kind of read the same card again, but for someone else and a different question. So the Page of Cups, she is saying, like, hold a space for your feelings and allow yourself to feel any feelings you might feel about moving out by yourself, whether that is uneasiness, fear, excitement, allowing yourself to feel all the feelings. And Page of Cups is actually a very intuitive and creative character. There's a lot of intuition with this card, which I didn't tap into the first time I read this card for Meredith. That aspect of the card actually wasn't speaking to me, but it is speaking to me now. So that's always interesting when you're reading the same card, but for different people in different situations, certain aspects of the card are going to come forward in a bigger way, depending on, what you're reading about. So Page of Cups, she's saying, listen to your intuition here. Intuition is important. You might actually find that when you move out on your own and you're living by yourself, that your intuition is going to increase, and that inner voice of guidance is going to feel louder and more clear to you. Because when you're living with people, you're living amongst other people's energies. They're talking all the time. I don't know. There's always distractions and stuff. And so being on your own, it does allow you to hear that inner voice more sometimes. I also associate this card with creativity. So you may actually also notice that your creative juices start to flow much more strongly, and you might have more creative urges once you get out on your own. So those are just two things off the top of my head. But pay attention to your intuition. So as you move out, and there might be, a series of decisions you have to make and things like that, your intuitive voice is going to be important. So making space for that voice to show up and honoring your intuition when it does show up. That's my advice to you. And good luck with your move. Okay. Maza Lou. Can I have a one card? Right, you want a card for love and romance. Okay, so Maza Lou, maybe just tell me, I'm going to get kind of nosy here. You want a card for love. Are you single or in a relationship? That's what I want to know, because then I can sort of tailor the reading a little more specifically. I'm guessing you're single. I'm just going to scroll down so I see your comment when it shows up. Let me know. Let me know if you're single or in a relationship. You don't have to give me any big details or anything, but I'm going to give my deck a really good shuffle. Single. Okay. All right, so I'm going to choose a card for your love life. All right, Two of Swords, and this is Tella the Traveler. So I don't know what myth Tella the Traveler is associated with, but I'm looking forward to learning more about this deck, actually. It's a really interesting one. Okay, so Two of Swords. Two of Swords, this is a card of decision, indecision, needing to make choices, and being kind of at a crossroads. And so it feels like, and I don't know if this will resonate for you, but it's almost like you're at some kind of a crossroads, not necessarily with romance, but maybe romance, but you're at some kind of a crossroads where you're being asked to make some kind of a choice or decision. And once you make that decision, it will put you down a path, and other areas of your life will start to kind of come together and will start to pick up. So I almost see this card as like a card of pausing. And I'm looking at the woman on the card, and she's holding a pendulum. And so it's like she's trying to decide what direction to go in, and she's got her pendulum and she's holding it to kind of figure it out what direction to go in. So what this means for you, it's almost like you're in the process of making choices right now and getting a sense of kind of getting your bearings straight and getting a sense of like, what direction am I going to go in? What am I going to choose? And your love life is connected to that. And so once you start to make those decisions, once you choose a path, it's like you move out of that, because it feels like right now you're maybe in like kind of a stagnant place where it's like you're kind of pausing to assess things. And once you make some decisions and start moving forward, your love life is also going to kind of pick up, and more things will start happening. more opportunities, more meetings, more openings, like more things will start to kind of pick up in that area as you make those decisions. Yeah. Oh, and you said an unresolved relationship. Okay, so that actually makes even more sense. And you said stand on my own 2 feet. Yeah, well, and that's exactly what the character here is doing. She's standing on her own 2 feet. She has a baby on her back. So she has this baby on her back. And to me, it's almost like there's something, there's a vulnerability to that. There's something that needs to be protected. So it's like it's like there's a part of you that you need to protect. And you said an unresolved relationship. Yeah. And so it feels like there is something that needs to be resolved. There's some decisions that need to be made. There's a path that needs to be chosen and another path that needs to not be chosen. And it's up to you what you choose. But once you make those decisions and start moving forward, then things are going to shift for you. Yeah. Thank you so much, by the way, for letting me read for you. Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to take a 30-second coffee break here, recaffeinate my brain. And I'm just going to read some of the comments here. There's lots of people watching live, and I just want to say, hey, thank you so much for watching me. 46 people, more than normal. And I think that's because I don't normally do this on a weekend, on a Sunday. So Sunday maybe is a good day to do these lives. And I plan on doing more lives, especially over the next month or so for sure. I plan on being more active, doing more live things here on my channel. So stay tuned. Okay. Let's see. Let's do a reading for Vibrant Liz. Hey, Vibrant Liz. A general reading. Okay. So let's pull a card for you. And yeah, the art is beautiful. And the artist, Anna Tourian, she also does the art for another deck that I have that I adore called Tarot of the Abyss. And I believe she's done quite a few decks. But the only other deck I have by her is the Tarot of the Abyss. And I love that deck so much. It's such a quirky, unusual deck. And I just love the artwork in it. All right. Vibrant Liz. The card I've chosen for you is Page of Wands. We're getting a lot of pages. We've had almost every single page. The only page we haven't had is Page of Pentacles. So it'll be interesting to see if that card shows up later on. Okay, so Page of Wands. Now, what a badass Page of Wands. Like, we've got a tiger. There's a snake. Wow. I love it. I love this Page of Wands. So the Page of Wands is all about learning. So the pages are always students, like they're learning, they're figuring things out. The pages they're learning. And so the Page of Wands, and think about the suit of wands, is all about energy. It's about energy. It's about passion. It's about action and drive and creativity. So Page of Wands is all about learning how to use your energy for maximum effect. And what I'm getting here is that there may be moments where you feel like you overdo it a little bit, like you burn yourself out, you use too much energy for one thing, or maybe you get really defensive about something else and it drains you. And so learning how to use your energy, learning how to cultivate energy. So noticing what kinds of people, places, activities help you build your energy up. So what kinds of things energize you? What kinds of things drain you and exhaust you? And really learning how to manage your energy, not just directing it into something, but how to manage it, how to build it up, how to cultivate it, how to maintain it, how to conserve it, and then how to use it when you need to. And also, like, seeing yourself as an energetic being is all part of this. This will help you. And actually what I'm saying, I should have said this at the beginning of my live, but everything that I say about the cards in a way will apply to all of us. So even though, you know, Vibrant Liz, I'm reading for Vibrant Liz, and this is her card and this is her message, what I'm saying probably applies to everyone who's watching. And I know that it applies to me as I'm talking. I'm like, oh, this totally applies to me as well. So yeah, okay. So a few things, like I'm really drawn to the tiger, and the tiger looks very ferocious, very ferocious. And then I'm also drawn to the snake, and the snake is a symbol of renewal and being able to reinvent yourself. So those two things, that ferociousness and that ability to reinvent yourself, is coming through with this card. Yeah, so I think I'll leave it there. I hope that resonated, Liz. I hope that made sense. But really exciting card to get. And I should mention that Page of Wands, similar to the Page of Cups, is actually a very creative card. It's about directing your creativity and your creative energy, and getting in touch with your creative side as well. Okay, and you said it absolutely resonates. I've been making a habit over the weekend to see where I pour my thoughts, time, and energy towards, also tapping into my creativity, trying not to limit myself. Oh, yay. I love it. Okay, that totally makes sense then. Perfect. And thank you for sharing that. All right. Okay, Bibizinha. I think I'm saying that right. I'm in a big transformation process in my life right now, and I'd like to know where this will all lead me to. Okay. Okay, where are you going? Ooh, Queen of Wands, Marie Laveau. Okay. So where is this transformation process taking you? And it's taking you to the Queen of Wands, which is incredible. So we've already had the King of Wands and we've had the Page of Wands just now. So the Queen of Wands, she is a very dynamic, powerful, eccentric character in the tarot. And what I love about her is she doesn't do things by the book. She doesn't do anything according to anyone else's plan. She's very unconventional. And similar to the King of Wands, she's very much in touch with what she's passionate about and what she's, what she's into, what she's excited about, what drives her, what lights her up. That is what determines what her work in the world is going to be. That's what determines where she puts her attention and where she puts her focus. So her superpower is her ability to focus, but it's also her ability to think outside the box and do her own thing. And she doesn't care about what other people think of her. She doesn't care about doing things a certain way or getting accolades. That's what I love about her. She's very confident. She knows who she is. She just doesn't care about getting accolades or other people patting her on the back or any of that. So she is really her own person. So your question was that you're in this transformation process and you want to know where it's leading you to. It's leading you to being more of who you are. So it's leading you to get in touch with your authentic self and to have the fearlessness and the courage to be who you are and to pursue the things that you're interested in and to allow those authentic parts of your personality to shine through. And so up until this point, you maybe have been more inclined to suppress certain parts of your personality and to kind of fit yourself into a mold. And part of this transformation process is about breaking out of that mold and being more who you are and stepping into your more confident side. So you might notice that once you come out onto the other side of this transformation, that you will be much more confident, much more bold, and really caring less about fitting in or about getting other people's approval. So there's an unconventional kind of bent to this card. Yeah. Okay. So thank you so much for letting me read for you. I hope that makes sense. And I'm just going to give my deck a really good shuffle here. Okay, so this is an interesting one. Can I get a reading for what I should listen to more? All right. Ooh, Page of Pentacles. Okay. So the last card, I was like, hey, we haven't had the Page of Pentacles yet. So Dionysius is the Page of Pentacles here. All right. Okay, so what should you listen to more? So this is so interesting because Page of Pentacles in my head means one thing, and Dionysius means something totally different for me. Because Dionysius, he's the god, I believe, the Greek god of wine, and there's a certain vibe that I associate with Dionysius, which I don't associate with the Page of Pentacles, because I think of the Page of Pentacles, even though the Page of Pentacles is a page, and he's learning, he's young, he's inexperienced, he's not an expert yet. The Suit of Pentacles is so grounded. Now, yeah, the Suit of Pentacles is all about getting into your body, is very earthly. And Dionysius, of course, is also about that. He loves wine. You know, I think of him as being kind of drunken half the time. And he's all about sort of letting go of inhibitions. So this is the thing that I'm picking up on here. There's something here for you about letting go of inhibitions. Now, the page signifies that you're learning something. And I feel like a big part of what you're learning is how to let go of your inhibitions more, and letting go of that feeling of self-consciousness. Like, think about how you feel after you've had a couple of glasses of wine. Sort of, you're feeling more relaxed. You're not as self-conscious, you know, maybe your sense of humor goes up a little bit. And this is about learning how to do that, but not with wine, like learning how to do that without, you know, just naturally in day-to-day life and day-to-day situations, how to let go of those inhibitions a little bit more. Yeah, I'm going to leave it at that. So that's what you should listen to more. Think when you're trying to make a decision, think, okay, if I didn't have my inhibitions and my fears, what might I choose? Not that you have to go with that, because sometimes there's a reason that you have fears and inhibitions, but just consider, like, okay, who would I be if I didn't have that inhibition? If I wasn't so self-conscious, what would I do differently? And what might it be for me? What might it be like for me to just try to act from that place for a little bit? Do a couple of small things from that place and see what happens. Okay, thanks for letting me read for you. Okay, I'm going to choose a card for Blue Band Days. Can I have a reading on creating more structure in life? All right. Okay, how to create more structure in your life. All right, we have Three of Wands. So Three of Wands tells you to look over your life, especially the past year or so, and notice what areas of your life is there already some structure in. So you're wanting to create more structure, but look at, like, how are you already succeeding in this area? Maybe there's one area of your life where there actually is quite a bit of structure. What is it about that? Like, what helps you be structured in that area? What things support you in being more structured in that particular area? So that's the first thing I get. Yeah, so noticing and even looking back over your whole life, and was there any times in your life where you felt like your life was quite structured and there was a lot of structure there? What helped you do that? What kinds of things supported you in doing that? And is it feasible to incorporate some of this into your life at the moment? Yeah. I also get something here, like I'm looking at the imagery on the card, and there's a woman in a hot air balloon, and it makes me think of like rising above something, kind of creating a sense of freedom and then also getting perspective. So there's something about creating more structure that will actually help you get more perspective on things and to see the big picture. And it will also help you rise above certain things. So there is a lot of, it's almost like as you create more structure in your life, it actually creates more freedom for you. And so that might be an important thing to take to heart and to think about as you create structure, is that I'm doing this to create more freedom for myself, not the opposite. Because sometimes bringing in more structure in your day-to-day life can feel limiting, and it can feel frustrating, especially if you're the kind of person who is kind of footloose and fancy free, and you like to do things at the spur of the moment and all of that. It can feel like more structure is limiting and it's like a prison. But the Three of Wands is actually telling you that the more structure you create in certain areas of your life, the more that's actually going to give you freedom and a sense of perspective. Okay. Yes. Oops. Let's see. Alyssa Jean. Okay, so Alyssa Jean, you asked this question before. I saw it, and you're asking again, so I'm going to read for you. Hi, Kate. I'd love a card about leaving my career that I've been feeling burnt out on. Okay. And I think I did see your comment further up. I think you said that you've been in the same career for quite some time. I think you said 20 years and you're burnt out. Okay. Okay, so Alyssa Jean, the card you have is Ace of Cups, the super blood moon eclipse. Ooh. I'll just wait for my camera to focus. It doesn't want to. It wants to wants to be blurry. Come on. Okay. Well, you get the gist of it anyway. It's a really pretty card. So Ace of Cups. So there's a few things I get with this. It does feel like now is the right time for you. It's like you've reached a place where it's like it just feels like it's the right time for you to make a move. Now, what I get with the Ace of Cups, the Ace of Cups is any ace can signify a new beginning. And so I feel like this is a great card to get. If you're asking about making a big change and you get an ace, that's awesome, because the ace is saying, like, yes, there's potential here to make a shift and to start something new, to turn over a new leaf, to start a new phase. But there is this emotional component to the Ace of Cups that I think is really interesting. Sometimes when the Ace of Cups comes up, I talk about gratitude and really nurturing and fostering those feelings of gratitude and appreciation and really getting into the heart space. And so that might be something that you might want to do. You may even want to create a little bit of a ritual. And I don't know if you're into rituals and spells and things like that, but creating a bit of a ritual for yourself where you really get into your heart space, and maybe you want to journal about all the things you're thankful for and all the gratitude you have towards your current job, the one that you want to move away from. Getting into your heart and noticing all the things that you appreciate about that job and what it's done for you, what it's brought you, the learning experiences, etc. And have that be a way for you to release that, because it almost seems like there's some emotional release that needs to happen around work and career in order for you to make changes and make that shift and move forward and choose a different career path. So that is the first step, is getting into your heart space, expressing your gratitude and appreciation for your current job. And as you're in that heart space, and I don't know if you already have an idea of what the next step is going to be, maybe you know what career you want to pursue, But if you don't, getting into your heart is going to allow you to shift into a different energetic place where you will start to get more inspiration, more ideas, more guidance. So that is the first step. So yeah, and I just want to reiterate, getting an ace, asking about making a big change like that and getting an ace is always a great sign. Like an ace is saying that, you're ready for a new beginning. Energy is kind of changing. Yeah. Okay, I hope that made sense, Alyssa. Thank you. Thank you for getting me to read for you. Okay, so I'm going to do 2 more readings, and then I'm going to close my live. I'm going to leave because I always start to feel towards, usually at the top of the hour, my brain starts to kind of become mush. So I'm going to do 2 more readings, and then I'll close it down. So yeah. Okay. Okay, so Alyssa, you said that was really helpful. Okay, good. Thank you. Okay, so Jessica, this is another career question. I have a new job opportunity that just came up with my current company. What advice is there for me? It would be a good promotion, but it would require a lot more travel. Okay. The Emperor. Ooh. Ooh, okay. So the Emperor is, this is a very interesting card to get here. The Emperor is all about kind of doing your own thing in a way. Like the Emperor, let me talk about the Emperor and then I'll connect it to your situation. So the Emperor is, I think of him as being kind of a stick in the mud. He wants to do things his way. He has an idea of how he wants to do things. And at the same time, he's a bit of a trailblazer. So he doesn't like people bossing him around. So my first question for you, would this new role that you have give you more independence? Would it allow you to do a little bit more of your own thing? If the answer is yes, that it would allow for more independence, then it may be a really good fit for you. Yeah, okay. But there's something else here that I'm noticing. So we have 2 characters on this card. So we've got the guy in the background, who I presume is the Emperor. He's blue. And then we have this like warrior woman who's in the front, and she's picking up an axe and it's got blood on it. And so to me, that is a symbol of letting go of something, of severing some sort of tie, so I don't know if that's a symbol of letting go of your old job to step into a new role. Yeah. Now, the Emperor is number 4 in the major arcana. And to me, that's a very stable number. So the Emperor loves stability. He also likes power and control. So again, my question to you is, would this new opportunity that has come up, would it give you more power and control over yourself, your own schedule, what you do in a day, or less control? If it's less, then it may not be a good fit for you, because it's almost like you're entering a time in your life where you're maybe not as flexible as you used to be on certain things, and you're wanting more independence and a little more power. So hopefully this is helpful. Hopefully this gives you food for thought, but it's saying, if this opportunity gives you a little more independence, then it might be a good thing to consider. I'm just looking to see if there's anything else I want to mention. Nope, I think I've said it all. So hopefully that made sense. Yeah. And thank you so much, Jessica, for getting me to read for you. Yeah, and you said you're not sure yet. You're going to learn more at the interview. I think it will give me more power, authority at work, but less control over my time schedule. Okay, so yeah, apples to oranges, or kind of more power in one way, less in another way. So definitely a difficult, difficult decision, probably. But think about, because you got the Emperor, and I know that you read tarot, so pull out the Emperor in your own deck. And maybe do some journaling about this card, because as you journal about the Emperor, it might bring some stuff up for you. It might kind of get you thinking on the right track and give you some ideas. Okay, so I'm going to do one more reading. And I want to kind of tease something here. So I have a 4-week tarot course coming up. It's not ready to sign up yet. I'm going to open registration on March 31st, so in a couple of weeks. But my course is going to run from April the 15th to, I think, May 9th. So it's 4 weeks. And this is what I consider my signature tarot course on intuitive tarot reading. So it's called the Daily Tarot Girl's Guide to Intuitive Tarot Card Reading. It's a 4-week course. It's lots of fun. It's open level, so you can be an absolute beginner or you can be more experienced. But it's for readers who want to start incorporating more of their intuition into their readings. And it's a lot of fun, and I love teaching it. So that's going to be coming up. It's not available yet to sign up, but it will be in a couple of weeks. So stay tuned. Oh, and actually, if you want to be notified of when I open registration, I'm actually just going to give you a little link. You can sign up. Give me one sec. Okay. So I'll put the link to sign up to my newsletter here, if you're not already on it. And that will, I think you get 1 or 2 free gifts when you sign up. But yeah, if you sign up to my newsletter, I'll notify you of when I am offering that course next. Okay. I'm going to pull a card. Oh, and thank you, Jessica. Thank you so much for being so generous. Okay, I'm going to pull a card for... Okay. Rose Rim. Have I done a reading for you yet? I don't think I have. Can I have a generic reading? Yes. Also, if you've got time to enlighten me, I have recently purchased the Everyday Witch Tarot. Do you know why there's a shark underneath the Knight of Cups? I don't know why. I've noticed that too. And I don't really associate sharks with like the Knight of Cups. So I think that's such an interesting choice. I don't know what that's about either. I always think it looks like on that card, like he's following the shark because he's flying on his broomstick above the shark. And it's like the shark is leading him somewhere. But I actually don't know the answer to your question. But I can give you a generic reading for sure. Okay. So the card you got here is Knight of Swords. And I'll do one more reading for all of us at the end to close too. So stay tuned. That will be next. So I've got Athena, Knight of Swords. And so this is your general card. And we got a lot of court cards today. Like, geez, almost all the court cards made an appearance at some point, I feel like. So Knight of Swords. Okay. Knight of Swords is telling you to not be afraid to go after what it is that you want to do. If there's something that you're trying to do or make happen, Knight of Swords is saying you are so powerful when you are able to really focus your mind, focus your intentions, and focus your action. Your worst enemy is not being able to focus, spreading yourself too thin, trying to do different things all at once, trying to multitask. But when you're able to really focus, and you don't need to focus for very long, but when you're able to focus, there's no stopping you. You are a powerhouse. You're unstoppable when you're able to focus your time, your attention, your actions on one thing at a time. So that's the general message I get for you with the Knight of Swords is focus is your friend. And I think that was actually kind of one of the general messages I got with the very first card that I drew for everyone, was that, you know, being able to focus is what we all needed to learn and figure out. That was the thing that was going to help us. And so I feel like that message is coming through again with the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is saying, you know, don't be afraid to go full tilt towards something. However, it's easy to become unbalanced when you do this. So going into that highly focused mode where you're taking action on something, you're really productive, you only want to be in that mode for a little bit of time, and then you want to come back out of it. Otherwise, you burn yourself out. So be careful of burning out, but know that you are a powerhouse when you're able to focus your mind and your attention on something. Okay, so I'm going to draw a last card for everybody. Okay, I'm just gonna read some comments here. Oh, Laura, you said, okay, so Laura, you have a question about my course. Are they pre-recorded? Yes. So for my upcoming 4-week course, the lessons are all pre-recorded. So each week you get 4 to 5 video lessons that have already been pre-recorded. And they have worksheets, and then there's a live component. So I do live Q&As each week. And I'm probably also going to throw in some like live practice sessions and stuff like that. There's a Facebook group. So there is a live component, but I record all the live stuff. So you don't have to attend anything live. If you can't, you will get the recordings. Okay, so I'm going to close by drawing us all a card. So what do we need to hear right now? What card do we all need to see at this moment? Okay. And the card we got is, the World. That's like the perfect card to get here. So that's great. As a last card, a card to close, the World is wonderful because this is the last card in the major arcana in the tarot deck. And I just love the little mushrooms and the tree with all the roots. It's so magical. Okay, so the World. The World is all about completion, completing something, but it's also about integration. And it makes me think of being able to take all the experiences that we've had so far, all the struggles, all the triumphs, all the lessons learned and maybe lessons failed, and to take all of that and integrate it into our life so that there's nothing that is cast to the side. There's nothing that we've hidden or repressed. There's nothing that we're ignoring and refusing to look at, but we're allowing ourselves to integrate everything. It also makes me think of like integrating, mind, body, spirit. And if you think of the 4 suits of the tarot, we've got Pentacles, which is physical. We've got Swords, mental, Cups, emotional, and Wands is energetic. Think about how do you integrate all of that into your day? Are you taking time to honor and acknowledge your body, your mind, your emotions, your heart, and your spirit, your energy? How can you integrate all of those things today? What is something nice you can do for your physical self? What is a nice thing you can do for your body? So I'm going to make myself lunch after this. That's my nice thing. And then I'm going to go do a workout. So those are my two things I'm going to do for my body. What are you going to do for your mind? What is a nice thing you can do for your mind today? So I might do a short meditation to kind of clear my mind at some point today. Or I might do some sketching, which I feel kind of helps my brain a little bit. And then what are you going to do for your heart, for your emotional well-being today? I don't know what I'm going to do for that, so I'll have to think on that. But what are you going to do for your emotional side? And what are you going to do for your spiritual side or your energetic side? So this could be something that nurtures your energy. Maybe you're going to give yourself a little bit of Reiki or something like that, or go out for a walk, sit with the trees. Or, what is something that you can do to nurture your spirituality and your spiritual side? So that is the message I get with the world. We're kind of coming full circle. So I'm going to close the readings, and I just want to say thank you so much for hanging out with me on a Sunday. Thank you to everyone who let me read for them. It was such an honor. And of course, I apologize to anyone here who wanted a reading, who asked a question, and I didn't, time did not allow me to give you a reading. Hopefully I can read for you again the next time I'm live on my channel, because like I said, I'm going to be doing more of these lives over the next month or so. So thanks everyone for being here, and I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and I hope you have a wonderful week next week. So, and of course, if you want to check out my website, and I should say, I'm so bad at promoting things. Okay, so if you're not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. It helps me so much. And feel free to give me a like, leave me a comment. And if you want to learn more about tarot card reading, you can check out my website, dailytarotgirl.com. I'm going to put the link in the chat here. So my website has all kinds of tarot learning resources. I've got tarot spreads. I've got tarot card meanings, lots of videos, lots of fun stuff. So make sure you check it out. And thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye.